Begin at where warm waters halt and take it in the canyon down. Not far, but too far to walk. Put in below the home of Brown.
Blah, blah, blah. This is my last Conversations with Cynthia video. You needn't agree with anything you see or hear in this video. I am merely presenting information as presented to me and the community with a timeline of information over the course of 2021. Shannon kicked it off with her 45-minute video April 23rd, where she shares information regarding an email she received from Jack in June of 2018. Here are a few clips.
June 24th, second email was June 25th. Didn't hear from him after that. But he did say that he just went searching in a particular area. He was, the area wasn't small that he mentioned, but, I guess kind of. His area definitely put like a radius on a map, maybe even more of like a rectangle. So I know where he searched. And then I will say I have been to the area that Jack was looking in, but I was not searching at the time. I hope you don't hate me for answering it like that, but it's true. I did not go searching for the treasure in the area where Jack was looking the first time. That was not where I was searching.
Okay. From here, all a searcher had to do was to go to Odious Souls videos from 2018 and watch her drive along the Madison River from West Yellowstone to Madison Junction. Easy peasy, a 10-mile rectangle. Everyone knew about Forrest's quote in the California Sunday magazine regarding wanting to die at his favorite ... as well as Forrest's ramblings and rumblings in Tony Ducopel's 2012 article about the Fenn's favorite fishing spots. Where would a smart searcher go? 9 Mile Hole.
There are some hints in the book. The hints won't take you to the treasure chest, but the clues will. But the hints will help you with the clues. So, you have to go in the back door, but they're subtle. That's why I say read the book normally the first time, and then go back and think about each sentence as you read it. Look at the pictures and the drawings, and in a very subtle way they can help you if you have your mojo working.
Yeah.
On June 21st, I had the pleasure of visiting Dale at his campsite at Baker's Hole. We discussed Jack and the location of the chest. Dale told me how he searched his blog comments after Jack came forward and found one of Jack's comments from 2018 where he asked if anyone knew anything about the area between 7 Mile Bridge and 9 Mile Hole. I think I did cartwheels, more validation for 9 Mile Hole. On July 8th, I was alone, making videos of the Madison River at 9 Mile, trying to decide my next course of action. Bearscat had recently been seen on the dry creek, and I was contemplating on going through that particular area of forest alone. Then there was a serendipitous moment. Forrest dropped Rudy Green from the sky into my lap. I had watched his videos but had never met him. It was another oh my God moment. Rudy sat along the river and told me all about Jack, his handle on Reddit, and all of Jack's comments regarding Jack's stretch of the Madison River. Rudy told me about a picture Jack had posted on Reddit in 2018 of a specific tree in Jack's search area and that it spelled a word. Rudy did not have the picture with him and couldn't remember the word, but he told me he'd email the picture to me as soon as he got back home. He invited me to go with him up the dry creek to its confluence with the wet creek, thinking this could be the solution to there'll be no paddle up your creek, just heavy loads and water high. I was delighted at his offer and tagged along after him up the dry creek, starting along the Madison, basically across from Fenn Rock. When Rudy flew home, he did indeed send this picture, the oil tree. Does it mean anything? Rudy had doubts I could even find the tree. The next morning, I had another spiritual moment. I walked right to it. Does it mean anything? Not really, except we now knew 100% if we could find it, we were walking in Jack's footsteps. It eliminated 7 Mile Bridge as well as the water hole. This video clip shows exactly the location of Jack's oil tree in relation to the Madison River, Fenn Rock, and the forest there. I even walked back into the trees a bit to look around. This is not Jack's blaze, though. I just wanted to get a closer look at the ground and match the forest debris to the picture of the chest.
I'm not getting naked today.
July 11th was my last day in Yellowstone. Jens, Tilo, and their friend Abby joined me for a farewell float down the Madison. Pay attention as you watch.
You did it.
Okay, this is our bonding moment.
You did it.
We did it. We got it. Okay. Thank you for us.
Around this time, I received a phone call from Zoe Finn telling me her mom and dad's marker was available to see at the Veterans Cemetery in Santa Fe. I have no life, so on July 17th, I went to Santa Fe. However, prior to visiting the cemetery, I had lunch with someone I had always wanted to meet. We hugged. I told him he should meet me in Yellowstone and I could take him to the Nook. He replied, "I know you could. I watched your recent video and you were within 200 feet of it." Holy cow, this was the first real confirmation we had that 9 Mile hole is the correct spot, and Forrest didn't walk as far as I had thought. Despite there being a gathering of searchers in West Yellowstone over Forrest's birthday weekend, I opted to spend it in Santa Fe. I invited Shiloh to my campsite for margaritas, and he did not disappoint. We discussed Jack and 9 Mile hole. During the course of our evening, he talked of knowing all the answers and mentioned writing a book someday, after the lawsuits are over. As we hugged goodbye, he asked me not to share this picture because he wasn't here and this conversation never took place. I replied, "Yep, I know how it works." Between my July 17th luncheon with the "you were within 200 feet of the Nook" guy, I continued to make trips to New Mexico and Santa Fe and back to Yellowstone the rest of the summer and fall. The tidbits were not overwhelming, but with each one, I refined my searches for the Nook. I was never told the solutions to the actual 9 clues, but there were references made to Homer Brown, Forrest's method of hiding the chest and treasure the day he hid it, and Jack's method of his grid search to find it. And just for consistency regarding my sources, one day after lunch, I took a selfie of us together leaving the restaurant, and he said, "You're not going to share that, are you?" I laughed. Nope, never, ever. For those viewers who are not familiar with Yellowstone and 9 Mile hole, here's a view from Google Earth. The red line from Fenn Rock directly across the Madison to the end of the line is 200 feet from the rock. The red line beside it is 200 feet from the edge of the Madison River back to Dry Creek. The red horizontal line from the pin location is 200 feet from the Wet Creek where Diggin' Gypsy searched in 2012. I believe she was the 200-footer Forrest talked about in 2013 when he referred to a she. In 2015, in 2 separate interviews, Forrest said to his knowledge, no one had ever been closer than 200 feet. In my opinion, that eliminates the Wet Creek and the island to its east. Last weekend, I had the pleasure of participating in a girls' weekend to Santa Fe with Capro and Shannon. Capro and Mike did a show covering much of our weekend this past Monday night. We all spent time with my "you've been within 200 feet of it" guy, as well as at the Fenn compound. Shiloh was an incredible host, answering questions regarding 9 Mile Hole and more. You know, guys, this is still a crappy ending to the end of the chase. I wish I could give you more answers, but I just don't have them at this time. All I can say is that 2021 has been one hell of a ride.
I think he had a 10-horse motor, and we weren't going a mile a week, but particularly when the wind was blowing, I mean, that boat just wouldn't even move sometimes because we were driving not only a heavy load, but they were a sail, you know, they were trying to go against, but we did that. We had to pull them across the lake because we couldn't get a truck in where we were.
In mid-July, I emailed Jack asking if he moved the logs in the picture of the treasure chest, the one with the lid closed and the other one with the twig inside the chest. Jack answered, "I sincerely doubt anyone can find a spot at this point with any certainty, even if I am looking in the correct location. I did not leave any trace. I'm glad you've found a place where you feel connected to forest. Take care and stay safe." I'm still not giving up. 2022.